Okay guys, welcome back. Thank you once again, Bonus, for the incredible host. Hopefully your stream went okay. We're going to be heading into our second matchup of today. It's going to be ReV versus pSi. Should be a lot of fun. Now pSi, unfortunately, haven't done too well. Just before we go into that, obviously, huge shout out to our sponsor, Liquipedia, for the $500 on the prize pool. And in a couple of weeks, when we start heading into the playoffs, they are going to be doing a bracket contest, which should be a lot of fun. So let's introduce our next two teams and we'll get into the rosters and everything. We're going to have PSi versus Clan ReV. PSi haven't done too well in this season. ReV have done a lot better. They are just about in contention for the top 8 still, our Clan Revolution. PSi unfortunately won't be making it to the playoffs this season. I don't think it's possible for them to do so. But either way, it should be fairly cool to see them or go up against each other again. They are currently 1-1 in games against each other. But ReV in Season 2 have powered up a lot. So it's going to be quite difficult. Let's actually have a look at the rosters. We've got some big name players fighting for Clan Revolution, some well-known foreign players as well. Michael, a very big not a big Twitch streamer, but he streams a lot on Michael_BG, I think is his channel on Twitch, versus Faust. One of the more interesting players, I would say. Besk versus Medinho on Whiteout. Medinho, one of the strongest Norwegian players, a very, very cool player to watch. Then we're going to have Praise versus Avi. Praise definitely one of the better players on pSi. Avi, of course, 100% S-rank chatcraft. I'm not sure. Oh, he's S-rank in game, I think, as well. I don't know if he is at the moment. I'm not sure how active he's been. But he's going to be playing Terran in ZVZ this time. So it's going to be TVZ, which is good for us. Then we're going to have Mitak versus CRVT. Mitak, obviously, a quite strong player for pSi as well. CRVT has done pretty well on Casted 3 so far, so should be good to watch him here. Now, let's actually have a look at Multiverse. And Invidentia asks, one of the strongest Norwegian players. How many other Norwegian players are there? Well, Eriador is from Norway, so also landowner just juiced me. Damn, don't remind me of that. That's a cursed redemption. You're not allowed to do that. But it's going to be Multiverse. Multiverse, one of the coolest maps from the latest ASL. We've had pretty even games here. TVZ has been a little bit one-sided, but luckily enough, this is going to be PVZ, which is 5 for 5. And let's have a look at our players. So starting us off here luckily enough, I'm getting a second screen tomorrow, so I'm really, really excited about that. But starting us off here for pSi is going to be Michael. Michael, of course, from Bulgaria, along with the rest of his team, has only played one game in the STPL so far. He did lose that against Dark. So PvZ-wise, he's not done great so far, but not too many games played. Faust, however, is coming out here. I hate to bring up this as a stat, but essentially Faust is one of the lowest ranked players in the STPL. He had a very, very poor run in Season 1 against some pretty strong players. And he also did one of my favorite builds, which was Evo First in ZVZ. So let's see if Faust is going to be doing something funny here in Season 2. This is going to be a Season 2 debut, actually. So I'm kind of excited to have him back. It's really, really cool to have him here. But let's actually have a look at game number 1. It's Michael versus Faust. It's Bulgaria versus the United States here on Multiverse. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, fighting for ReV from the United States of America. It's Faust in the red. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand position. We do have the blue Protoss fighting for pSi. It's Michael. Now, I don't know if the hosting is broken, or if Bonnet's viewers just didn't want to watch. I guess maybe they just didn't want to watch and went to watch the Vault instead. Because we lost a ton of viewers. Now, the hosting was actually broken before, and it would constantly try and rehost, which would fail, and then you'd lose all the viewers, so maybe it's that. But it'd be a bit disappointing if nobody who watches Bonith wants to watch the STPL. That'd be kind of sad, actually, but because I'm sure if he hosted Zero, they would all stuck around. It's all good though. We don't need them. Abby says, I think it's safe to say that Faust's sex appeal scared them off. It's all good though, because we're all having fun. But we're week 10 of week 13 as well of the STPL Season 2. We're coming up to the end, as a matter of fact. It's kind of crazy to think that we went overpool for Faust. In terms of builds, we've got Michael going for a 2-gate. Michael, whenever I've seen his stream online, he's always a little bit cheesy, so let's see if Faust is going to be able to deal with this. He is going to drone scout, which is lucky for him, because otherwise he would be completely in the dark. So Faust is going to know this is coming. But knowing something's coming and being able to defend it are two separate things, as whenever I play this game I find out. Whenever I stream as well, it's not good. Like I'll come across like some Scout Zealot build or something in PvT. Anyone who used to watch my stream when I stream ladder will know that more than well. And on paper it should be easy to defend, and then you add kicks. Then you add kicks in, and it doesn't work out. Now let's see if Faust is going to have that problem, or if he's going to have this well and truly fine. He's got a second hatchery coming up, which is always good. His spawning pool's done. He has no gas, so there's going to be no speed for a while. And it's going to be entirely down to Micro here as to whether or not he's able to deal with this 2-gate Zealot. Regardless, this could be a very, very quick game. Now, unfortunately for Michael, one of his first Zealots is going to get caught out in the middle on his own. He's actually pulled a couple of probes here as well. This is 100% an all-in from Michael. Faust, one of his... Wait, I thought for a second one of Faust's lings had actually bugged out on the range, and I was like, I didn't think that was possible, but it's fine. Looks like the hatchery is going to finish. We should see Faust sending a drone immediately to build a sunken, because you do need that, so I'm going to help hold on. Now there is another Zealot coming in behind this. The Zealots at the front going to be super, super important. Looks like the one at the back has managed to meet up with his comrades here at the front. Now this creep colony isn't going to be able to become a sunken, I don't think. It does lose 100 health when... well, it loses 100 health when it goes to a sunken, so yeah, I don't think this is going to finish. Looks like Michael is going to try and focus this down a lot now. You can see Faust immediately cancelling. He knows that that's not going to work out. Now, the Zealots haven't done much drone damage so far. They've essentially killed one drone, I think, by killing that creep colony, but Faust is building a ton of Zealots. Looks like that creep colony is going to go down as well. That's very unfortunate, as that means that's going to be another wasted drone. And so is this one. I'm really surprised. Oh, now it looks like we are going to have a drone drill out here to see if he can break through. The Zealots have been forced back from the choke. That is very important. The sunken is going to go down, however. Faust is down to 7 drones. None of them are mining right now. And Michael, despite the fact he's only got 12 probes, 10 of them are mining. So if Faust cannot hold this incredibly well, Michael is going to win this game. And Michael's doing a ton of damage. Looks like the Zealots are starting to finally get cleaned up. But at what cost? The probe, the assassin getting one of the drones. Another probe even being added up here. And Faust is down to 5 drones right now. There is a final Zealot. It's low, but look at this. 2 additional Zealots coming in to add insult to injury. And GG. We don't quite reach the 6-minute curse, but Faust taps out. And Michael takes game number 1. Though that's unfortunate for Faust, his losing streak will continue. Now, there was a way I can actually... I think I can still do it. But essentially, you know, I have the winning streaks on the screen. I also have the losing streaks worked out. And I think Faust has actually now got the highest losing streak. So a little bit unfortunate for Faust. Very well done by Michael, though. That was very well executed of a 2-gate. He split up his Zealots well. He made sure to kill all of the Sunkens. And guess what? It worked out for him in the end. So we're going to be back in just... this will be a very, very quick break, because I know I barely had a game there. So I'll just quickly throw it up to another screen so I can get ready for the next game. And then we'll be back in just a sec. See you guys very soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does! Bio TVP. Wow! You got it! STPL does! Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Okay, we're going to cut that video slightly short because, as I said, we didn't really have a game there, so there's no point doing a full break. It seems a little bit cheeky of me to do that. But this would be... Wait, what on earth am I going on about? I started reading something on Discord. That was a very big mistake. We're going to go into game number 2 here. Let's have a look at the map. We'll go through it very quickly. This is the first time we're going to see it today. So having a look at the map stats, it's going to be whiteout. We did miss it last game, last series, because there was a walkover. But whiteout's been pretty balanced in the STPL as well. We've had a lot of PvP here though. So it's kind of cool to get to see a TVZ. We've only seen 3 of them so far. Terran 2-1 up, not a massive advantage, but of course there is a very low sample size in the STPL. It is one of the current ladder maps as well, so a lot of you should be a lot more normal. But what am I saying? Oh my god, I need to hit myself. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit myself with the juice thing. That's stark reminder of what happens when I don't pay attention. Okay, so should be a little bit more normal for you guys. There shouldn't be any of you that haven't seen the STPL before that know what's going on. So that's good. So if we have a look at the player histories, Vesco for pSi hasn't done too well. Only a 16% win rate, but that is over only 6 games. So there is still chance for Vesco to come back here. But in terms of what's going on in this game, it looks like a load of people are reminding me of the hells of Monday's cast, but that's all good. If we actually have a look at his opponent, it's going to be Medinho. Medinho, if you're watching, I've finally picked your fixed your picture, and it's actually a really sick picture, so nice. Looks like everyone is redeeming Juice now, so that's good. Pebbles thanking Cadenzi as well for her amazing Zerg tutorials, so if you are playing Zerg and you need to know how to play, check out her tutorials, because pretty good. But Medinho, very strong Terran player for ReV, ranked 24 overall, won 7 of his last 10 games. He's 6-1 against Zerg, and I can tell you his very first game in the STPL, if I remember correctly, he beat Eon Zerg on Return of the King. So very strong Zerg player, Terran player here. Cannot wait to see him play here against Vesco as we get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off in the top right hand position, we have the white Zerg fighting for pSi. It's Vesco. And I have no idea what's been going on in chat. Starting over here in the top left-hand position, apparently he sacrificed a goat for this game. It's the Viking Terran himself. It's Medinho fighting for ReV. And Cataclysmal, Juicegate, essentially, I messed up. I knocked over an entire glass full of apple juice, and it went everywhere. It went on the floor, it went all over my keyboard, all under my keyboard, all under my monitor, under my mouse mat, over my mouse somehow as well. And I must have spent like 40 minutes trying to clean it up while in the middle of a cast. So what I did was when I cut out Naz vs Soul, which is what we casted, essentially what I did was I cut out the bit where that happened, not when it happened, but the bit where I was trying to clean everything afterwards, because I was gone for like 30 minutes. It was crazy. Yeah, today I've only got water, and it's in a massive mug that I can't essentially knock over. Well, I shouldn't say that actually, I'll find a way. One thing that I haven't said, which it's not really important to say, obviously we have got a 9 pull coming in here from Vesco. He went 9 pull, 9 gas into Overlord. What I was going to say was I've recently, over the last couple of days, taken down my Christmas decorations, and everything looks so bare now, it's crazy. I didn't even have that many decorations up, as you could see from the videos I made, but it's kind of sad. The Christmas period is officially over as of the end of today, so it's always sad to see it go. You hate to see it. The reason why I wouldn't say I like Christmas itself that much, but I like the period before and after, because everybody seems to be more relaxed. Like every single person that I interact with at work, especially on the phone, like everyone just calms down knowing they're gonna get a break at the end of December. It's so good. And then like January happens and the stark realization that the next break isn't until Easter, and everyone is super tense. So that's why on the first week of the year I always take it off. So I'm actually off this week. Well, this is technically the second week, but I only had 2 days of work last week, so I didn't bother. And Cadenzi saying Happy Easter. Now what? Another thing to point out, Medinho may be overreacting to the build he saw here. He has gone for a bunker in his main. He's going to go for a 1 base play here. Now, usually that would be bad, but Medinho is a 2v2 player. He knows how to play in these weird situations. It is Speedlings very, very quickly in his main. Now, look at this. Vesco going for the gas. Going to make it very difficult for Medinho to be able to go for any tech. And you can already see 2 SCVs have been pulled. The Marine is going to be sent back, so these Lings are going to be able to jump on. There's no Vulture for a very long time here. A second Marine coming out through the mineral line. Very, very clever. But yeah, Cadenzi, I know you're joking when you say Happy Easter, but have you seen that like all the supermarkets here have got the Easter eggs in already? Like literally the day after New Year, the Tesco near me had Easter eggs in, which is just crazy. Consumerism is just crazy. And Buena's looking for the clip. If someone can go get the clip for him and share it, the Juicegate one, that'd be kind of good. It's probably one of the only times I've actually swore properly on stream as well. At least when casting STPL. Like, I usually try to avoid streaming. Oh, you love cream eggs. I've never been a fan of cream eggs. I don't know why. I've got a load of, like, you know the little, not celebrations, the Cadbury's Heroes ones? I've got a load of the cream eggs ones of those, so if you're ever in London, I'll give them to you, because they came out my advent calendar, I don't like them, so... Ah, Buena found it. Buena found the horrible clip that nobody should watch ever again. Now we've got another load of Lings running into the main. Are they going to be able to do too much damage? There is nothing in the bunker, so perhaps... Okay, he's going for the Marines, I think. He wants to make sure he can finish the game. But is this going to work out? This could be a problem. I mean, this is a crazy aggressive game so far. The Vulture going to come back. He's going to block the command center, though, from finishing. This is a massive moment in this game. Speed Vultures, or Speedlings against the Vulture isn't necessarily a bad matchup, as the Vulture can micro down all the Speedlings, but it's a lot of effort where you're not macroing, you're not doing anything else back at home. And is Medinho a player that can deal with that? No, he can't. He's going to lose his early Vulture, and that's going to be a big problem now. Mines are on the way. I think no, speed didn't finish, so mines are going to be his first upgrade here. And he almost loses the second Vulture, and look at how many Lings are on the way. We've got more and more aggression coming out from Vesco. He's going into a Spire behind this as well. The Armory is done, so a Goliath switch should be coming up next, but the Vultures not going to achieve too much here. The repair actually not going down on this Vulture, so these Lings could clean this up. They're going to, more importantly, block the expansion for a little bit longer if he chooses to. Now, Goliaths on their own do not fare badly against Lings. They start to fare horrifically when the numbers get ridiculous. But it is going to be Goliaths against Mutas here. The Ling count, not super high, but the problem that Medinho essentially has is he can't build turrets in his natural now. So if he does have an engineering bay, which he should have, at least should have soon, no, there's no engineering bay on the way, he's going to be relying on nothing but Goliaths against Mutas, and honestly, that is not a position you want to be in. If there's okay, there's no Carapace coming in, so that's a little bit of a sigh of relief here for Medinho, as of course pSi are 1-0 up in the series so far. So looks like Medinho going to try and push forward with some Lings, but with only Goliaths and not that many of them against. Okay, there's 6 Goliaths already, so that should help. The muteless count not super high, so maybe Vesk built a little too many Lings. But for now, Medinho is going to be able to secure his natural expansion. Still surprised there's no engineering bay. Here we go, the engineering bay finally coming up here. Meanwhile, back in Vesco's base, he is going to go into his Hydralisk Den. Going into Muta Hydra is definitely a good follow-up to this, because it allows you to push very quickly. And if the Terran player does not defend properly, if they don't get a bunker, if you can clear the mines, Hydras evaporate Goliaths as long as they've got muteless support. So let's see how this is going to play out. Now the muteless going to get in, get a couple of SCVs, not too impactful in all senses of the word, but I thought that was Vesco hiding a drone down there, but it's just going to be an Overlord scouting out down in the bottom corner. We've got a third hatchery coming in, interestingly not opting to try and expand behind this. Usually when you know your opponent's going for mech, it's usually better just to try and expand, because essentially Vesco should know that Medinho is not going to be pushing anytime soon, because he's seen the factory count. He knows it's only... Oh my god. Those were some big mines. Okay, well, mine's pretty good units, so that's all the Lings cleaned up now. Yeah, Vesco should know that he could just expand here, because I guess the only thing he's worried about is vultures patrolling for drones or whatever. But when your opponent's on 2 factories, when they're on 2 bases, there's absolutely no way they're going to be able to push out. I mean, Medinho has skipped turrets entirely. Okay, so he's got 2 turrets as natural, but his main is completely bare. There's really not that many muteless right now. I'm really unsure, in fact, what Vesco is actually building. It looks like he's trying to build some Hydras, but I mean, compared to the... This is a bad example, because there's no way I would be playing nearly as well as Medinho. If it was me against Cadenzi, for instance, and Cadenzi 2-hatch muted me, and did this weird Ling opening, I get the feeling that she would have a lot more now than what Vesco does. I mean, Vesco's pulling a lot of money here. There's 3 hatcheries, which came in a little bit late. Cadenzi would definitely have another base by now, I think. And I mean, with just Goliaths, Mad can't really push across the map, so I really don't understand why Vesco isn't just expanding. I mean, getting mines in those in the vision blockers is actually really powerful because the Hydras, they're not going to see them unless they have Overlord support, which they're likely not going to have. Now, they are going to clean up a couple of vultures. Maybe this will show things are a little bit crazy. Still the 3 hatcheries, no additional bases coming in. I mean, this is a good number of Hydras, but with the amount of Goliaths Medinho has now, I think he should be able to hold on. Looks like Mad is starting to add... Nope, no additional... Yeah, no additional turrets anywhere, so he's playing this perfectly. He knows that there's no additional mutas coming in. He scouted that, and it looks like Mad is going to be scouting around for a 3rd base because he knows... He knows that Vesk should have or Vesco should have another base. I mean, Vesco's going to expand towards his opponent. That's going to benefit the Goliath player because eventually there's going to be enough Goliaths, there's going to be a few tanks. They're going to be able to go straight into that base. Now let's have a look for these mines at the bottom side of this. This could be some GG Aimer mines moment. I don't want to miss this one because there is absolutely no overlords. There is no form of air units whatsoever. The mines are down here. Looks like we're not going to see him push forward, so that is a little bit unfortunate for us as viewers, but fortunate for Vesco. Here we go. So there is going to be some overlords moving out onto the map. One mine has been spotted. The mines in the trees will get spotted as well. And unfortunately, we're not going to have a GG Aimer mine. That's a little bit unfortunate, but there's nothing better than seeing a ton of Hydralisks melt to a mine. Okay, there we go. The mines have been cleaned up. Oh, we do get one mine. I mean, it's only 2 Hydras, but we take what we get. Medinho is certainly going to be happy with that. Medinho's army getting bigger and bigger. Interestingly, Medinho was actually going to build a 3rd base hidden. Okay, this is not looking good for Vesco. If he pushes forward here, he's up against 5 tanks. There's no way this is going to work. So Vesco going to move his way down. Is he going to check for a 3rd base? That is the important question. Is he going to check that 4th? Because realistically, a Terran player should not be expanding their own location right now. But this is Medinho. He plays sneaky sometimes. He is the Viking Terran. Interestingly, there's no dropships yet. One of the powerful plays that Medinho has is his longboat. There we go. It's Medinho's Viking longboat getting ready to raid his opponent's bases, and it's something we've seen a lot of in the STPL, so kind of cool. Vikings aren't necessarily sneaky, but Medinho is. He's a 2v2 player, but there's the longboat. The longboat is really the power play that Medinho has. Medinho, if you don't know who Bjorl is, he qualified for the ASL Round of 24 twice in a row. He didn't do too well in it, but he's one of the top amateur players in Korea right now. And Medinho ripped Bjorl apart with a 2-base dropship build in TBT. So speaking of Vikings, like I don't want to sound like I'm advertising, but I played this game of oh my god, the longboat gets caught. What a pickoff by Vesco. Nicely done. That could have been something that ended the game. 4 vultures dropping in your main as Zerg. That's pretty much GG, but he holds it and he deals with it perfectly. But yeah, I've been playing this game that was in this month's Humble Bundle called Bad North. It is like a mobile game, but it's like a weird... If you've ever played Cannon Fodder, it's kind of like that, but rather than controlling single guys, you control little squads of guys. It's really, really fun. I've done one playthrough of it already, and it's super good. I really enjoyed it. Now losing that hidden base for Medinho, not the best. It did finish before he could cancel it as well, so nice pick off by Vesco. And honestly, pSi are looking like they're doing really well in this series. I thought Vesco was in a lot of trouble. Okay, he still could be. Yeah, you can't engage into this. This is a really heavily fortified mech position. We've got a lot of mines coming out the front as well. A lot of Goliaths. There is going to be... There's no irradiate, so that's something. But that's definitely too strong of a position to push in. And Vesco, he's finally taking his 4th base once again, expanding right next to his opponent. I'm really surprised by this expansion pattern. Maybe he's worried about vultures running by, but look at this, they're going to get in anyway. Yeah, as Albert says, it's kind of crazy this game is going on still after how aggro this game was. Now it looks like we do have the Mutas flying into the main. They don't get much damage done. They do take a lot of damage though, as is the job of Mutalisks. I wondered what on earth this was. I thought it was some weird like building going in. But there we go. Thank you, Aggie, for the 14th month resub, man. Means so much. Thank you very much. We should have IRK playing on Wednesday, by the way, so if you're around on Wednesday, I'll cast them first or maybe second so you can make sure you can see it. But it's going to be IRK versus Valhalla team, I think, this week, so that should be a really entertaining matchup. Third base from Medinho is up and running. We've got Medinho at a supply advantage, which isn't necessarily that surprising against the Zerg. I mean, realistically, Vesco hasn't got a ton of drones, he's not got a ton of bases, so supply isn't going to be super high, as Hydras are essentially free in supply costs. So we've got a lot of Mutalist still, which is a bonus, but Carapace is done as well. That's definitely going to help. +2 Carapace just finishing up. Queen's Nest coming in, so Hive is going to be coming in next. Now, are we going to see Vesco make the mistake I've seen a lot of Zergs do and go, well, Guardians are going to be good against mech, right? Because Guardians are not good against mech. Guardians are better against bio, and they're not great against bio anyway. The reason why Guardians are not good against mech is Goliaths. I think they're either the same range or they're very close. They may even outrange them slightly. And Goliaths do a ton of damage to things. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have a lot of units piling in. The Hydra's coming in from the trees aren't going to help too much. Gonna fall back. Nice irradiates on that Mutalist clump. Does manage to clear up a lot of them. And yeah, it looks like Aggie is having the same problem that I would have had at work, but I took this week off. He's saying he's got a busy period. I mean, we've got the Mutalist flying into the main. Medinho built a ton. Oh my god, this irradiate. Okay, nice split off there, but not without taking a ton of damage on the Mutalisks. And the important thing for Medinho here is he doesn't necessarily need to attack. He just needs to expand. He needs to continue to grow. And when he gets max, that's when things become a problem. And it looks like maybe Medinho feels he has enough. He's going to slowly push forwards with all of his tanks. The Hydralisks are going to melt. This is why these Mutalisks are going to be so important. Now is Hive done? No, Hive is not yet done, so there's going to be no Swarm, no Plague, and more importantly, no +3 Carapace. And I mean, essentially Guardians wouldn't actually be too bad here, but looks like Vesco has seen this. Unfortunately, there's no Queen to infest this. Infest is honestly one of the best things you can do against a command center, because you essentially get a free like 1500 hit point scout, which is just ridiculous. Now, the 4th base of Vesco gonna get ravaged here. Looks like Medinho may just have a little bit too much. Oh, and Aggie works in the gym business, so I wonder why it's busy. Oh my god. You must get so many people that sign up to the gym in January and never go back again. But look at all the irradiates. Such amazing damage coming down from Medinho. Goliaths on pretty much all sides of this army now. Only at the top though. But the Mutalists are starting to fall. The tanks getting separated from these Goliaths. Could he target some of these down? They're falling back to turrets. And look how low all of these Mutalists are. If these Goliaths get a single set of volleys off on multiple Goliaths there, that would have been multiple Mutalists even. That would have been devastating. But looks like Medinho going to clean everything up again. His upgrades are 2-2 already. He's doing pretty well. He could have 3-3 by now, but he did delay his upgrade initially, so he's going to be having 3-2 at 19 minutes, which is definitely a little bit late for mech. You want to get that a lot sooner, but given the position he's been in the game, things have been a little bit funky, and he's definitely done a good job to come back. Now, Vesco, let's see what his plan is with Hive. Looks like he's just going to go into Adrenaline Lings. He's got I believe this is only +1 attack on his melee. Yeah, +1 attack. He's got 2 carapace. I mean, Vesco is in a pretty awful position. Medinho is going to expand down to the bottom left again. He's already got his 4th base up. We're going to have a big push in from Lings coming in over here. Adrenaline isn't done yet, so they're not going to do maximum damage to what they could do. But they are going to do a semi-decent amount of damage. Wow, we actually had an Irradiate going down on a Ling. Not only is that hard to target, that's also a waste of an Irradiate. But there we go. The Mulet's going to fly in. A lot of them damaged heavily from earlier. And that's got to be it. Vesco has taken so much damage. He's not expanded nearly enough to play against Mech here, and Medinho should have this game number 2 in the bag. Cataclysmical saying that the problem with to infest the CC, you have to spend 100 gas on someone that could be another Mutalisk or another Lurker. But when you're against Mech, honestly, you want Queens anyway, because Swarm Broodling is so good. There we go, that's too much. GG, Vesco taps out, Medinho takes game number 2. Okay, so that's going to take us to the middle of our second series, depending on whether or not we get a draw in the next couple of games. We could be going to an ace match. Nothing's been decided yet. I have no idea. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 3. Wait, who is going to be playing? I remember seeing this before. I think it's Avi, and you know what? Let's just find out from the overlay. Medinho wins that one. It's going to be Avi versus Praise when we get back after this. See you guys soon. Okay guys, welcome back. To be completely transparent as well about the Patreon stuff, the money I've received so far has gone towards improving the stream setup. So I bought this green screen, which I'll admit is actually not as good as I thought it was going to be, but it kind of works with the last payment. I also bought my microphone because I had to replace my microphone, and with the recent batch that I've made, as well as money from my Christmas bonus, which I thankfully got, I have bought a new monitor, so I'll finally have 2 monitors, which is awesome because I'll be able to see the chat in the game. I won't have to like do this with my phone. By the way, I'm like, I've got the dashboard open on my phone, so in the game I can actually see what you guys are saying. But still, just to be transparent, that's what that money's gone towards. Soon, since I've pretty much updated everything I need to do with my stream setup and everything, I'm going to start putting the money back towards tournaments and whatnot. But obviously, I've been trying to set myself up first. And if you do want to sponsor specific players to play against each other, turn on the night mode. Can you turn on the night mode on phone? I don't know if you can do that. I didn't think that was a thing, is it? Gotta check. Okay, I can't find out, but we'll find out later. But yeah, essentially, what was I gonna say? If you want to sponsor specific matches, you can do that through Patreon as well. They are the higher tiers, because essentially what the plan would be is some of the money would go towards me in the STPL and the other bit would go straight into the prize pool. That's why it's split up like that. I think to do a team sponsored match it's $200, and to do a player sponsored match it's $100. I know that's a lot of money, so if you can't do it, it's fine. It's not a major problem, but if you do want to support the STPL monetarily, you can. And now, rather than go into that too much, let's go into game number 3. So it's going to be a little bit of a rare occurrence here, because if we, well, let's look at the map and then we'll say why it's a rare occurrence. It's on Neo-Arkanoid. Neo-Arkanoid, a pretty cool map, pretty even so far in the STPL, which is always good. This is going to be a ZBT, which is the interesting thing, as it's going to be the first time in a very long time I'll have seen our second player play a certain race. So Praise is going to be your Zerg player here, fighting for pSi. Unfortunately, not having the best win rate overall, as a lot of the pSi players are, but he plays up against some really strong opponents. You can see in the last 10 games he's played against Bonneth, Dreamer, Favorite, TT1. He lost against Essen's special build on Neo-Arkanoid, and Gypsy as well. So he did beat Gypsy, so that's good. That was a long time ago though. And his opponent playing Terran is going to be Avi fighting for ReV. Now I don't know how I don't have a picture of Avi. Avi, send me one and I'll use it on the stream. Everyone else, well, not everyone, but most of the other players today have had one, so if you can send one, that would be good. And ITN you, I don't know how to say your name right. The Terran, the Terran from before was me, and I was like 1700 at that point, but I don't play that much anymore. And I was also playing against people my level, so I was messing around a little bit. But as you'll see, I only picked out the coolest bits of my own gameplay to show off, so that's how it goes. But let's have a look at game number 3. It's Avi versus Praise here on Neo-Arkanoid. Starting us off here in the bottom right hand corner in the red, fighting from Denmark for ReV, it's Avi as our red Terran. And spawning down here in the bottom left hand position in the blue, fighting for pSi from Bulgaria, it's Praise as our Zerg player. And I would just like to point out, I don't know if this is statistically true, Avi, but I think the last time I saw you play Terran in the STPL was on Grand Line SE, and you played under the name Care Bear instead of Avi, so that was a long time ago. Intrigue isn't on an STPL team as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I remember all this really stupid thing. Like, Grand Line SE was round 1 of Season 1. Round 1, to give you an example of when that was actually... was it? Yeah, it was March 2018. And I remember that game, because Abby went for like a 3 racks, I think it was, on one base. And he won with it. And Cadenti Hirmu deleted the FBW team because essentially, like... Well, what is Praise doing? Ah, okay, Praise is going to send a drone to clear out some of these. That's not too bad. You can also go for a hatchery here and then just build another hatchery there. It's not terrible. Wait, no, Praise has played this map before. I know he has. He's definitely played this map before. I don't know why on earth he'd be looking around like this. Wait, has he? I'm sure yeah, he played against Essen, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, he did. He played on September last year. It was one of the first games. Well, Avi, however, is going for a gas opening, going for a starport. Likely gonna see 2-port Wraith, given the fact he's not pulled any guys off gas. Now, it's actually going to be cool if Avi does go for 2-port Wraith here, because it's very rare that you'll see someone who can muteless micro Wraiths. Because most of like the foreign Terrans, like the top foreign Terrans, unless they came from Zerg like Koget did, they won't have necessarily practiced muteless micro as much, because why would you? And you barely ever get a chance to practice Wraith micro, so... Avi, I'm really hoping you go for Wraiths here, because that'd be very fun to see. Chad, Praise has played on this map before, so I don't know. And Cadenti, I would hope that Avi can mute a micro, given he's a Zerg main. There we go. Double starport Wraiths, one of my favorite builds in the entire game, something I try to do over and over again, and something I fail to do over and over again, because I can never micro it properly and macro at the same time. So Avi, certainly a better, stronger player than I am. I know well, he is here, but I was going to say, like, maybe you'll be looking to be a little bit more aggressive, given how much he probably feels is better than his opponent. That's definitely something that Avi would do. Now, Praise, I think, unfortunately, keeps forgetting this map. I don't know if he was either drunk when playing his last game on it, or if it was long enough ago. Because if you think this game, like, I know it's January now, but this game was played the end of December. I think this was the second to last week of December, and he'd not played the map since September. So it was a good 3 months since he maybe saw the map. I mean, it goes to show he doesn't watch the STPL. It's very rare that you would actually see any of the pSi people in chat. I don't know why. I know they are very active though, but the thing is, Bulgaria has their own like scene. It's kind of like Peru in a way. With Peru, they have like their own massive scene that you just don't know about unless you look into it, because they all speak Spanish or whatnot, or yeah, Spanish, and they've got all their local scene and everything. It's kind of like Poland, but Poland are a little bit more open to the rest of the world, because obviously Zero is one of the big casters. Bonith and Koga are two of the big players, so we kind of hear about that scene, and unfortunately Praise was trying to go for it all in here and he didn't scout the right way. Oh no, this is just like Essen's game against Zella. I mean, this is enough Lings that it would actually just end the game. But unfortunately, now Praise is going to lose every single Overlord, and get those 6-minute cursor modes ready. If you don't have it, use the channel points to unlock it, because this game ain't going to last more than 6 minutes. Praise is going to lose all of his drones. Praise quits, 6 minutes 11 seconds. That's the curse. GG. Praise taps out and Avi wins game number 3. And Crespaz, Crepsaz? I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I'm very, very sorry. It's dark blue on my black background. Bonith didn't actually play. Soul have played, but Bonith got a walkover. Abby saying his plan in that game was to get map vision to not die to all-ins, so... Well, you did a pretty good job of that. You not only didn't die to all-ins, you hard punished one. Now, we're going to be going into game number 4 with ReV up 2-1. It's going to be Mitak versus CRVT, and it's going to be going after this very, very short break. Hold on, let's for the last time this Christmas, let's throw up the Christmas videos, and you can have a look at Christmas Lottie while we're waiting. See you guys in just a sec. In Videntia asks, what race does Lottie main? She is a Terran player. She has integrity. Just saying. Okay, well, that's going to take us into game number 4. That could very well be the last time you see those clips this year. Well, not this year, but this Christmas. I may play them again in the next series. They are cute, so Lottie's amazing. Just saying, my cat's the best. Just the way it is. But let's have a look at game number 4. So Abby won game number 3, of course. Game number 4 is going to be on Carthage 3. I'll just bring up the map stats. Many of you, if you've watched the STPL before, will have seen them, so not really too much to say. But Carthage 3, other than TVZ, has been a pretty balanced map in the STPL. This is going to be a ZVP, so in terms of stats there, Zerg have had a little bit of an advantage, but not a massive one. If we have a look at both of our players, we're going to start off here introducing ReV this time. CRVT doesn't have a photo, but he's got a 50% win rate overall, nearly a 50% win rate against Zerg, so this could be a close game, at least statistically for him, whereas his opponent has, without a doubt, one of the best photos in the STPL, and he went out with a friend specifically to get this photo taken. It's Mitak. Look at this guy with his pickaxe, looking like a badass. I mean, he's only got a 30% win rate overall. Only got about a 30% win rate, I think, against his opponent's race. I really should change that to a percentage, but I've not quite got around to that yet. But overall, Mitak's fun to watch. He always has fun games, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one as well. As we get into Carthage 3, it's Mitak versus CRVT. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position in the magenta, starting for pSi. From Bulgaria, it's Mitak as our Zerg player. And his opponent all the way from Latvia is going to be our red Protoss playing with not only the BSL tag but also the ReV tag, so getting his clan tag in there as well. It's the RVT as our Protoss player. Now it looks like we are going to have a Forge fast expand based on the location of this scout. He's going to pile on scout here. Usually if you're going to gateway first, you would go back to your minerals with your probe. Now CRVT luckily has enough experience on this map now to know that you don't just blindly click on your opponent's base. You actually have to control your worker, and the reason for that is behind this there is actually 3 big temples that mess up the pathing. So let's see if CRVT can round this out with a 3-1 victory for ReV, or if pSi are going to come back and take us to an ace match. This is going to be an incredibly important game for ReV, not so much for pSi. pSi, unfortunately, I believe, even with 3 more games remaining, or 2 more games remaining after this one, so wait, no, it would be 3 games remaining after this one. I don't think, unless they win all 4 of their games, that they'll be in a position where they can still qualify. So this is kind of more annoying for ReV, because if ReV can keep winning, they are very close to the top 8. Wait, I need to check this. Nice micro, by the way, on this probe by CRVT. Let's have a look at the rankings. So yeah, ReV are in 11th at the moment. They're only a win or 2 away from making it into the top 8. And that's super, super important, because the top 8 means you get into the playoffs, you make it into contention to be able to win the prize money at the end. In case you guys are wondering how the playoffs work, essentially Seed 1 and Seed 2, so that'll be the team in place 1 and place 2, they will be seeded into opposite sides of the semi-final. 3 and 4 will be seeded into opposite sides of the quarterfinals, and then the bottom 4 teams, so 4 to 8, will play off against each other. So 4 will play 8, I believe, and then, no, sorry, 5 will play 8, and then 6 will play 7, and then the winner of that will go on to face 3 and 4, and then obviously the winners of those will go into the semi-final. Then the winners of that will make it into the final. I'm going to make a good graphic for that, probably tomorrow. I was meant to do it today, and then I got lazy and watched Psyche K most of the day, but, and then GDQ. GDQ obviously is on at the same time, so landowner, I said Lottie plays Terran because she has integrity. I mean, I have no honor and I play Terran. That's why 80s Mullet called me the Ronin Terran. I mean, I was playing a best of 5 against Doc Holiday the other day, and I wanted to have fun, so he lost twice in a row. I went 2-0 up. So he picked Circuit Breakers, and I lost on there, so it was my pick on a map. And because I wanted to have fun, I picked Crystallis as my map. Which is the map with minerals everywhere and 2 gases in the middle of the minerals you have to mine to. I definitely have no honor. I lost that game though, and then I picked the final map as destination to be a little bit more fair. But yeah, every map is a kicks map, guys. Don't... Well, when you see the like meme, well, the meme I made from like the Pylon show where Artos is like, don't listen to kicks about maps. Ugh. Or when Rapid's like, don't listen to kicks about maps or whatever. Just remember that every map could possibly be a kicks map. It's just, I don't like playing on... Yeah, I 3-2'd in the end. I walled in and he tried to ling wall in me and he lost. He didn't realize I could wall. Yeah, I 3-2'd him. That's the... We've played 5 best of 5s, I think. And I'm now 3 wins, 2 losses in the best of 5s. Maybe it's 6 now, I might be 4-2. I know I'm winning overall, so... Yeah, unconventional maps are more fun, but I do understand why people like standard maps. But this is a team league. I mean, you should see some of the maps that get used in team leagues in Korea. One of the recent ones has Lost Temple in it, which, honestly, I have to admit I was very close to putting in the STPL. Because Lost Temple is a really fun map, and it's really old, and one of my favorite things to do is see how modern builds play out on very old maps, but I didn't keep it out. Oxerg, you can join a team and you can start playing if you want to. If you just join the STPL Discord or type in, like, what I can do is if you're looking for a team, I'll just post in the captain's chat that you're looking, and then if there's a team that want to let you in, they'll let you in. you can, essentially the way the rule works is you can't play the week you join, so you'd have to wait a week, but essentially now would be actually a pretty good time to join because we're coming up to the playoffs, and it would give you time to get used to your team before Season 2. Unless they're in the playoffs, of course, then you might play though. Yeah, there's 14 teams. Unfortunately, NICE look like they're going to disband after Season 2, so there'll be 13 teams remaining. I'm not sure if all the teams are going to come back for Season 3, but given 12 of our teams from Season 2 were all returning from Season 1, I'm hoping we'll get a lot of teams back again. Well, if you're D- ranked, that's fine. No one cares. Even if you don't get to play in the STPL for the clan, there's also BWCL, which has like a lower tier, like a lot of the teams have B teams and stuff like that. And ReV, I mean, if you join ReV, they're always looking to send out new people as well. But ReV have sent out people that have literally never played a tournament game before, so... Well, CRVT has done a ton of damage over here at the third base. I don't know why I've not been talking about the game, but that's just how it goes when I'm casting solo. I get distracted very, very easily by chat. I mean, this is a ton of damage heading on this third base. Luckily enough, Mitak's got 3 hatcheries over here, so it's going to take a long time to fully kill this. But the trouble is, if all 3 of these hatcheries go down, that's it. GG. 7 minutes, 23 seconds. Mitak cannot hold, and the +1 speed attack from CRVT is going to come in and close out the series 3-1. So that was another pretty well won series by ReV. Unfortunately, Faust missing out on his first game, but CRVT winning the final game for them, definitely going to feel good for him, and it's a very well deserved victory as well. ReV have came from Season 1 when they didn't do too well, and honestly they have been one of the better teams to watch. Their games have always been interesting, and CRVT has definitely done his best throughout the tournament so far. So that's going to put them a little bit closer to manage to make it in to the playoffs, but they've still got a little way to go yet. It's not guaranteed, so they've got to be careful. Michael winning game 1 over Faust, Medino winning game 2 over Vesco, Avi beating Praise, and CRVT finishing it off over Mitak, giving ReV the 3-1 victory. And that's going to take us in to series number 3. Who is actually playing? I can't actually remember. It's Net Wars versus Red. So if you're here for Net Wars, your waiting has been rewarded. Should be a really sick series. Net Wars versus Red, pretty evenly matched this season, and should be pretty cool to see. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just under 5 minutes. See you guys very soon.